All right, we got like 10 minutes, which is really more like 8 minutes before my meeting. But I think we can do this in 8 minutes. So in this one, we're going to talk about mastering time management, Google Calendar, time blocking, and to-do lists. And this is all going to be stuff that will help you manage your time well. And so the first thing you want to do is you want to have a calendar. And you want to go into Google Calendar, and I'm just going to take a risk here and show you my calendar. And so, hey, reminder, I got a meeting here. And so there's my reminder, but here's my calendar. And you can see in my calendar, I blocked time out. I was on jury duty this week. So I had to be on call and ready to go down to the court if they needed me. Fortunately, I didn't need to go. But here you can see, okay, I have a class right here. And then I have my office hours right here on these 2 days. And then I have a class right here. And then I have a Tesla, and I had a mobile service appointment right here. And then I'm the advisor for a club, and that happens right here. And then here are my virtual office hours, and then there's other stuff that happened. Like these are movies I wanted to see. This is my 4 o'clock appointment. Here's a meeting I had to go to on campus today. This is my calendar, ladies and gentlemen, for this week. And it really helps me understand where I need to do my time. If I wanted to fill this in a little bit more, I'd put 5:45 to 7:15 on these days right here is when I swim. I haven't entered that yet, but that'd be in my mind. If I wanted to enter it, I would click right here. I'd click on that and I'd say swim with kids, right? And I could go into more options right here. And then in more options, I could say, hey, this repeats. And it's going to be a custom repeat right here. So I'm going to say this repeats Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I want this to happen every week, and it ends never. And so I'm going to hit done on that, and I'm going to come down here, and I'm just going to give it a color. And I'm going to give it like, the color orange. Orange is kind of like a warm color. I think I like blue better. I don't know. Orange is different. I don't have any oranges. Green is good. Green is like all systems go. We'll see what other colors I have. If I wanted to, I could add guests here. So I could add my wife. I could add my kids, right? And they'd have this on their calendar then too. I could add a notification, or I could remove a notification. So if I wanted notifications, I could have notifications that get emailed to me. So an email that comes to me like one day before, if it's an exam, just to remind me or whatever. I could put people's birthdays in here. Like all of this stuff is going to help me manage my life better. Putting your parents' birthdays, your family members' birthdays, your friends' birthdays. Hey, happy birthday. Just wanted to call you. Yeah, thinking of you. Love you, man. And whatever it is, right? But I could put this in, and now I have swim with kids all here. Like that time is blocked out. That is what I'm doing. So this is a really important thing to do. You could also get things up here. There are trainings on Google Calendar or whatever calendar system you want to use. I'm sure you could find videos also on YouTube or Ask ChatGPT, right? But being able to use a calendar, super important. The next thing is time blocking. So that calendar was actually showing you time blocking. And so what time blocking would look like is like, okay, I'm going to block out time for studying each of my classes. I want to study an hour a day for each class. I've got 5 classes. That's 5 hours. You might say to yourself, that's a lot. It is, but this is a job, right? You want to wash dishes, or do you want to work towards something more meaningful, more impactful, where you get more satisfaction, more reward, more influence, more impact, a more meaningful life, more empowerment, a more sense of satisfaction, a better paycheck? Which do you want? Which do you want? You got to make that choice. If you don't make it, it'll get made for you. And when it gets made for you, you don't get the better jobs, right? And so put in like, okay, 5 hours of studying. This is where I'm going to study this, and this, and put those times in. Block that time out. And when you block that time out, you'll be like, sorry, I'm busy. I can't. I got to go do my work. It's my job. I'm sorry, right? And then you go do it, and that's what I did. You treat school like a job. When I was in grad school, I just blocked out time to do my work, and that's when I did it, and it was my job. And if somebody said, hey, you want to go to the movies? I'm like, I'd love to. I can't. I got to work. What about Saturday night? I got time free Saturday night. You want to do it Saturday night? Let's go hang out. Love it. Block out Saturday night, social time, right? And then I'd put that into my calendar. So your calendar, time blocking, and then to-do lists, right? It's good to have a to-do list. I also sometimes think about to-do lists, or I couple this with the next best step. And so the next best step is the idea is like, what's the next best step for me to take in my life, right? And after watching my daughter's volleyball game, I got a meeting at 4. I could come here and I could record. I could get a couple of videos done. That's the next best step. I'm going to do it. Bam, knock it out, right? So you think about what's the next best step? What's the next best step? What's the next best step? What's the next best step for me to take in my life right now? I'm driving to school, next best step, listen to something skillful, immerse my mind in it, gain some knowledge, be, pumped up, gain some enthusiasm, gain some new trinket of information, which is going to help me and help others, help all of my students at the college around the world. Let me learn, let me grow, let me become more skillful, help me, let me, do that thing. And so that's the next best step. What's the next best step? And then to-do list is like, sometimes I'm like, all right, these are the things I got to knock out today. I got to call the bank. I got to go down and drop off the water samples. I got to order a dishwasher. Literally, this is my to-do list from like yesterday, I think, right? Like there's like all these things I need to do, and I just list them out and then I start, okay, I got all my stuff done today. That's what I need to knock out today. So to-do list, time blocking, Google Calendar, all of it's going to help you become more successful. And one other thing I'll say about all this is with meditation. So at one point in my life, I got really interested in discovering enlightenment. There's this idea of enlightenment that you could actually achieve and attain a higher level of consciousness. And I could say to you from all of my experience, it's absolutely real. I've met people, I had teachers with higher levels of consciousness which had extraordinary psychic mental powers, right? These teachers did phenomenal, amazing things that I've witnessed in my life. But enlightenment's real. And there's this continuum, another continuum of being in the darkness and being more in the light. And as you move along this continuum from darkness, ignorance, suffering, unskillfulness, dysfunction, to being more aware, more awake, more in the light, more conscious. As you move along that continuum, that's called enlightenment. You're becoming more enlightened. You're bringing more light into your life. And there are instant moments of enlightenment where you just have a shift and things change in a dramatic way. But also there's just really gradual progression along that continuum, particularly if you're cultivating that and you set that intention and you have that conscious awareness that this is even possible, you'll just gradually, and even just through living life, you just gradually progress. You become more aware, more conscious, more awake. That's generally what happens for people. That's just the way spiritual psychological development works. And so, when I was younger, I was really interested. I was like, I want to see if I could achieve full enlightenment and see what that's like. And I did definitely move along the continuum of enlightenment experiences. And learning about meditation. Meditation is one of the main ways that you can do that. And I had moments where there were big shifts, like instant shifts, and a couple of instantaneous shifts where things just like I took a big jump forward. I'm like, whoa, things are totally different. And but anyhow, when I was young, I wanted to find out if enlightenment is real. We got 3 minutes. And so the best way to kind of discover enlightenment that I had learned about was through meditation. So I said to myself, I'm going to prioritize meditation. It's going to be my number one priority. I was a bachelor, I lived by myself. I'm going to meditate every day for an hour. And if I miss it one day, I'm going to make it up the next. So if I missed meditating one day, I do 2 the next day. And if all my day took all my time and I still need to meditate and it was like 7 at night and a friend was like, hey, let's go to the movies, I'd be like, I can't. I got stuff I still need to do. What about Saturday? Right? And so you gotta stay committed, and that's prioritization, and that's focus, and that's commitment. And I'm committing to myself because I am worth it, because I know the kind of life I want to build. And I meditated 1 hour every day for 7 years straight, and I progressed along that continuum of enlightenment, and I came to actually a really large enlightenment experience that was so big, it literally felt like I was dying. It felt like death. And that's actually the way a large enlightenment experience is described as occurring, as you die to the ego, the sense of self. But it scared me. And so halfway through that experience, the fear hit, and then the experience stopped. And I was like, aw. But that was my fate, and I'm totally at peace with it. All right, so here is mastering time management, Google Calendar, time blocking, and to-do lists. Pause the video, read through the lecture description here, and then you can pause the video and read through the lecture description there, and then you can pause the video and read through the lecture description right there. I will see you, or you'll see me, in the next video where we're going to talk about avoiding procrastination.